I was the biggest supporter of Destiny since day one, hell, since the alpha. When the game came out, a lot of people were very disappointed. But not me! I was following the game very closely, so I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. My first ever favorite gun in the game was this hand cannon in the beta. Here I am fawning over it. It does the coolest thing. You can just cock the hammer back a little bit before you actually shoot the thing. Ever since then, I was on a quest to find the best hand cannons in the game. And if you know anything about Destiny, you know that this story has a very, very tragic ending. I used hand cannons all throughout the main game. I loved hand cannons so much that I used rare or uncommon hand cannons over other legendary weapons just because of how fun they were to use. Soon, I was fortunate enough to get an icebreaker as my first or second exotic. This would make up for my weak primary weapon. A little bit before the Dark Below expansion came out, I learned that this was a bad strategy, and for important missions, I would switch to my next best primary weapon, the Monte Carlo. I spent almost an entire year searching for a good hand cannon, but my RNG was so bad that I never found any good legendary or exotic hand cannons. Eventually, I was able to buy the Last Word from Xur, which became my favorite hand cannon, but when I had the Last Word equipped, I wasn't able to have my Icebreaker equipped that I had grown so accustomed to. So I began another search for a good legendary hand cannon. I think I bought Up The Ante when the House of Wolves expansion came out, but that gun was just alright. It wasn't until the lovely Vicky was able to take me through the Vault of Glass on hard mode over and over again until I was able to get myself a Fatebringer. This entire time, I was on a quest for the Hawkmoon, a year one PlayStation exclusive weapon which was supposed to be the best hand cannon in the game. Arguably the most powerful primary in the game next to the No Land Beyond, and the one gun that always seemed to one-shot you in PvP. Countless hard mode raids, Prison of Elders runs, and exotic engram drops later, and I never got it. Every single time a match would end and you see that little spinny thing that shows that you're going to get something, I would go, Hawkmoon's for everybody! Come on, Hawkmoon! In the hopes that one day I would be right. And it never came. For a whole year, hand cannons enjoyed complete dominance in PvP. Auto rifles and pulse rifles were no match for a good Hawkmoon, the Last Word, Thorn, or even a Fatebringer. Remember, of all of these weapons, I was able to get 2. And that was months into the game, dangerously close to year 2. When year 2 of Destiny came out, it brought with it a massive patch. This patch had the biggest nerf to hand cannons that we have ever seen. The range, the impact, everything. Shots that I was used to landing stopped landing on targets. Shots that I was landing were so weak that I had to land even more shots, emptying my magazine at a rate that I was again not used to. This was a major bummer considering these were my guns. This was my Destiny. My Destiny turned into a completely different game, something that I wasn't even good at anymore. I would have to go back and rebuild my entire vault just to compensate for this ridiculous nerf. And I would have to completely change my playstyle. I tried my damnedest to play with my Monte Carlo. I was used to its recoil, so this would have been a good compromise for me. It worked great in the Taken King beta, but unfortunately, once the Taken King came out, my year 1 Monte Carlo was useless compared to everybody else's new white or green auto rifles. Everything that I had acquired became useless. Even this playstyle that I had developed became useless. This was enough of a crushing blow to deter me from the game. But I kept playing. I had to see if I could rebuild and adjust. I had to plow my way through the Taken King. This game burned me, but I still loved it, and I still wanted to see what its newest expansion had to offer. And I loved the Taken King, but I just hated the changes. And I know that everybody else liked the changes, but I don't think that they actually liked the changes. I think that that was a farce. I think it's something that everybody said that they wanted, but when they got it, they realized they were wrong. 1 week into year 2, I vacationed to Florida. When I landed, my Twitter blew up. I got the news that since the 1-year exclusivity was up, Xur finally had the Hawkmoon. I had no strange coins, and I was 1,000 miles away from my PlayStation. Some of the best people in the world offered to log in for me, grind some strange coins, and buy the Hawkmoon for me. But Vicky was already on it. This was the coolest thing anybody has ever done for me in the video game world. I love my Hawkmoon, but now in year 2, it is a shadow of its former self. Its trademark perk, Luck in the Chamber, which allowed for one-shot kills in PvP, was severely nerfed. There are so many better guns out there now, I just don't know what any of them are. And now that your weapons actually affect your light level, something that Bungie assured everybody wasn't going to matter anymore, you are now forced to use whatever weapon you have that has the highest light level. And that means that I have to use this absolute piece of trash hand cannon. I can hit that reload button and pour myself a cup of pour-over coffee before I'm ready to shoot again. But this was the only way I was able to raid with other people. I need that light level. My quest to refine the best guns in the game and readjust my playstyle quickly wore me down and turned me off to the game. I had been burned. Me, the biggest supporter of the game since its announcement. I've heard that they've fixed hand cannons a little bit, but I haven't seen for myself yet. This is not to say that I'm never going to play the game again. I played some Sparrow Racing recently, and that was awesome. I'm sure whenever the next new update's out, I'll jump back into it. I just have no reason to play right now. It feels like work, and I've got plenty of that already as it is. So that's my Destiny story. What do you guys think about Destiny? And a lot of you people know me as a Destiny person, so a lot of you probably played Destiny. Have you stopped? Did you give up on it? What is your Destiny story? What is your play style like? Leave it in the comments below. Add me on Twitter, all this other social media garbage. And if you like Destiny, you better goddamn be watching the Geek Chic over on Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, I'm on Twitch now and I live stream every single week, but the schedule's all weird, so follow me on Twitter to keep up with that. And don't forget, Wulff Den Live is every single Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, and if you miss that, the VOD goes live on YouTube, goes live on iTunes, goes live on SoundCloud, so you can watch last week's episode right here. Thank you guys very much. Have a good week. Also, I made a little guest appearance on Fnatic 4's YouTube channel. You can check that out right here. We talk about the best games 2015, and guess what game I talk about? Click anywhere here, or I guess the card in the top right corner. And I will see you over there. There. When Destiny first came out last year, it had a lot of problems. Well, people said it had a lot of problems. Engrams used to drop less frequently. You would never get anything good out of them. Some other bullshit about legendary and exotic weapons. Look. According to a completely unverified source at Ubisoft, the NX will be 2 consoles with the same OS. This sounds very similar to Apple devices. There will be a handheld and a home console, and because the OSs are the same, it's supposedly going to be very easy to port games between the 2 consoles.